Hi, viewers. Welcome to another exciting episode of the AI People, where we share inspiring stories of thinkers and builders who are humanizing AI. We are at the RSA conference, the biggest cybersecurity conference in the world, attended by over 60,000 people across the globe. And uh, today is day three. We have had some really interesting conversations transpire over the last 3 days. And we have the CEO of Aviatrix, Doug, here with us to share some of his commentary, some of his insights, recommendations coming out of the RSA conference. I'll let Doug introduce himself and his company.
Awesome. Thank you, Vivek. So Doug Merritt, CEO of Aviatrix, been coming to RSA for well over 15 years. I was a CEO of a company called Splunk, which is now owned by Cisco, where we were evangelizing data as the critical element, logs in particular, to help cyber teams understand when bad things happen. But now at Aviatrix, we're focused on securing the cloud workloads, the thousands of workloads that most corporations are putting into AWS, Azure, GCP, OCI, with a very unique and elegant network security solution. So a lot of good insights from this week. I'm sure we'll go back and forth on some of those.
That's great, Doug. Thank you so much. Again, for someone who is a veteran in the cybersecurity place, you said you've been attending RSO for 2 years. How had you seen the conference evolve over the years? And especially this year, I've been hearing that agentic AI is the major fee, and how ensure your security defenses are bolstered to be able to handle agentic AI related, you know, work streams across the company.
Yes.
Like, I don't know.
Well, the conference has definitely ebbed and flowed. I think that around the COVID area kind of toned down a little bit. Just the energy and the noise level is not quite as high. We're back to had 2015, 2016, 2017 levels here. It has been intense here. It's just hard to get in, hard to actually walk around all the booths. So it's been exciting to see. The unique element for me about RSA is you can tell what the VCs are investing in and what's topical every year, because every single booth says the exact same thing depending on what the crowd it finds interesting. And this year is not surprising. Like, there is not a booth that I have seen across the thousands of booths that isn't screaming about AI, which makes it challenging every year because there's always some English, so many words in the English and other languages, and I think it is very confusing for people on what does everybody do and what's necessary and what's not. And I think this year is no different. AI is incredibly exciting, hugely profound for the world, very important to secure, very difficult to secure. And there's 1,000 companies all screaming the same thing about ASP.
Maybe that's a good segue. So, about differentiation. It's really important that you offer a really flatty proposition beyond customers and like a lot for Aviatrix and what you guys think IT in terms of helping organizations evolve for the era of but having the right security insertion.
Yes. Yeah. If you think about cybersecurity, all of you guys that are excited about this topic out there, our entire tech world is built on three very simple things. You've got individuals or agents. You've got an entity that is consuming compute on a mobile device, on a laptop, up in the cloud, talking to another entity consuming computers. So the fundamentals of cybersecurity are you've got to be able to both have visibility on the entities, like that's the whole identity management space, who is acting on that compute. And if you want to stop at that app, you take away their credentials. You have to have something on the endpoint, like that's something like CrowdStrike does, where you have an agent that can shut down the phone, shut down the computer, or shut down the workload in the cloud if it's acting in a really weird way. The third area, there's only three legs of the stool in cybersecurity. They're all really, really important. A two-legged stool is not stable. You don't want to sit on it. Is network. Because the three ways you can stop pings, or you can stop the actor, you can stop the device, or you can stop the communication channel between devices. Aviatrix weaves itself into the network, every cloud network for a customer, and wraps a little bubble wrap around every single worker. Every agent is monitored on the packets coming into that agent, the packets going out from that agent, and who they're talking to and what they're talking about. And the same thing for every database, every e-commerce system. If you really want to secure your cloud environment, and cloud is deeply interwoven typically into edge and on-prem elements, then you need a robust identity strategy, you need a robust endpoint strategy, and you need a robust network strategy, network security, and that's what we use for Agentic.
Okay. And obviously, you would have had a lot of opportunities to interact with some of your customers,
Yeah.
CIOs, CISOs. What are you hearing from them to see after they learn more about what you are doing inside the space? To learn more about the feedback.
Appreciation for enterprise cloud workloads has been growing slowly. Like the average company, I'm sure many of you out there would say that, is like, hey, the cloud is secure. AWS has me. I don't have to worry about this. That is not true. Like it is honestly, I swear to you, the most insecure environment you've ever operated in. The data centers they built are very secure. They are excellent at building secure data centers. Everything that you put into their data center in their virtualized world, you are responsible for. So there's been a lot of work in trying to help educate people on AWS can say they're safe, and that's true, and yet you are not off the hook. Right? You are 100% responsible for every AWS service you use and how it's configured, and Azure and GCP. Every database, like everything that you're using is your responsibility, and you are going to be held liable if it's not secure. What is accelerating that appreciation is you now got agents and MCP servers that are flooding into the cloud. And agents, unlike a database or unlike an e-commerce service, agents are non-deterministic. They have intelligence. They're kind of humans, but they're also workloads, and they're very arbitrary in what they do. And so I think that what we've been hearing from our customers and what is going to be a huge propellant for Aviatrix, and I'd say companies like Aviatrix are kind of unique in what we do, is this new awareness. I built all these really, really cool agents. My support agent, my sales agent, my marketing agent, my legal agent, and they're doing all this great work. And then they're slowly going to realize, oh my God, that legal agent called out to the internet and sent really interesting and proprietary terms to a public site, and I didn't see it. It just leaked that data. Or even worse, what happened to one very, very large public technology company. This brand new engineer was working really well with Cursor or Claude Code, and he hit publish for the proprietary code he was working on, and somehow it went to a public repo, and my proprietary code is now open for anyone to actually get access to. That is going to be happening on like 100 time, 1,000 time, 1,000,000 time a day basis, because the agents are so good at fulfilling their tasks. And without having network visibility and network controls, you're out of luck. Like the agent is on his own. It's to think about agents as really smart and infinite energy teenagers. They're great when they're going the right direction. It's a little bit scary when they're too hopped up on Sprite and they take your car and drive too quickly. And that is what we got to help attempt to get. It's like they're powerful, but we need to help them with guardrails. And there's very few ways to do that unless you're in the network to actually solve these things.
Thanks a lot. We talked about current trends, but you see the AI and security landscape evolving in the next 1 to 2 years. And how are you as a company gearing up to that change?
I mean, cybersecurity has been a very important topic, growing in importance year over year. You go back even 5 years ago, the number of very notable breaches that caused big damage, millions or hundreds of millions of damage, was once every 3 months or so. You'd read about, oh my God, a Capital One incident, or that. Now you're seeing them close to daily. And I think we're going to start to see them 5 to 50 times a day. At the same time that the reporting is going down. It was okay to report on it 5 years ago. People are more nervous to report on it today. I've been in cyber for a while. I hear a lot about this landscape. It could be seen as self-promoting to say it's one of the most important areas for people to focus on, but it really, really, really is. And I think the difference that you're seeing is way more sophistication in attackers and a lot more potentially non-deterministic negative implications are happening because you got these really intelligent and capable agentic AI systems that are part of work now that we are becoming so reliant on. But given a really important information, personal financial information as you start to move forward, personal information on yourself, health information. So the mechanisms we had in place for 20, 30, 40 years to try and protect people still matter. They need to be adapted effectively for this agentic in an AI-driven world, and people's awareness of it and appreciation for how important it is to try and drive some security efficacy.
That's great. And that to wrap things up, one key takeaway for your from RSA Ocracy, you would sum it up in one sentence.
Um, Cybersecurity is cool here, and I think AI is really, really making it cool. But yes, it's going to be a really, really exciting 2 or 3 years, and the cyber industry is going through a lot of change to try to come together.
That's awesome. Well, thank you so much, Doug, for the care today with the AI people. Wish you good luck with Aviatrix and RSA as well as beyond RSA. Thanks so much, Arif.
Awesome. Thank you, Vivek. It was a pleasure to meet you to be on your podcast.